of Powerhouse Conversations. We go live, talk about some of the things that's going on. Today's live stream is going to be about just kind of giving you all some insight on Dream Big Sports, the purpose of it. We'll talk about some of the things that's going on in sports. Uh, got the game going on, so I got the live stream of the game going on. Atlanta's up right now, but yeah, basically, we're gonna talk about some of the trending news in sports that's on and off the field. Go over some of what Dream Big Sports is about and what we're doing. Just met went and spoke at Carver High School a couple days ago. Uh, Cowboys Nation, man. Cowboys let me down today, man. I know. Fonzie, I know you talked to Chip about it. So, man, crazy. But yeah. We last couple episodes we've been talking about some of the streaming rights. So it's crazy. Right now the Chiefs Falcons game is streaming on Peacock. So like these streaming platforms are going to be really big moving forward. So that's something that we definitely can stay tuned for in the future for us to talk about even more. How companies like ESPN, Disney, and all those are having to compete with YouTube, Amazon, Peacock, those type of companies that are making some headway. Um, but yeah, this is a big weekend for Prime and Dion and Shadur, Travis Hunter, and it's I know there's always a lot of controversy, but when you're balling like those guys, especially Travis is killing it. So like they kind of taking on the persona of Dion, and they're gonna talk big. They got to back it up. As long as they back it up, they can keep talking. So that's gonna be very interesting moving forward because one of the things that Dream Big Sports helps with is from an NIL branding perspective, not necessarily working on NIL deals, but we help athletes and athletic organizations leverage technology to help with their personal brands and help with their NIL opportunities, help using some of those things and keeping y'all up to date on the news and what people are doing, like a Travis Hunter, like a Shadur. One of the big things with Shadur is he has a team. Like his brother like works full time, pumping out content and utilizing technology to be able to build up his brand. And when they're building up his brand, they're opening up more opportunities and just looking at these NIL valuations. That's like is big. So like I'll actually even pull it up, take a look at the where the NIL evaluations are coming from, because even just Cam Ward this weekend, I know his NIL evaluation is going up. Let's check this out. Top athlete valuations. So yeah, we got Shadur sitting at the top at 5.1 million for NIL evaluation. Libby Dunn sitting at 4 million. Travis Hunter's right at 3.1 million with 3 million followers. Arch Manning sitting at 3.1. Quinn is sitting at 2.2. That's crazy that you got two quarterbacks right there. Right there, this pretty much the same. Then you got Jalen Milroy right there at 6 with 2.2 million. Jackson Dart sitting at 2.1. Here comes Cam Ward sitting at 1.9. Carson Beck at 1.9. And then Nico, who was this? Nico from Tennessee. Um, Definitely don't know how to say his name, but uh, yeah, he's sitting at rounding out the 10 spot. So that's just something to pay attention to when you're watching these games, and understanding, how their play on the field is affecting their NIL evaluations, and understanding how they are using their play on the field to monetize their brand. If you look at those top 10 evaluations, literally 9 of the 10 are college football players. And so that's crazy when you think about it, how dominant college football is on this board before you even get to. So Cooper Flag is at sitting at 12, and then Page is sitting at 13. Flage is sitting at 14. Um, but like when you start, like the thing I think about is that most of these players are more so. Uh, Most of these players that are sitting in the top 10 are college football players, but they're not necessarily the biggest brands. They're just that college football is so strong that that they're able to monetize their brands just on being like, just like I said, you got 2 quarterbacks at Texas in the top 5. Like that's just the brand of Texas. Like that's that's going to be a big impact moving forward when you think about some of these schools. Like you got two quarterbacks, same position, so only one can play, but you're sitting right at a $3.1 million evaluation and a $2.2 million evaluation for quarterbacks, and that's crazy. So I think that speaks to the Texas brand. And then, like I said, you got 2 of the top 3 players with Shador and Travis sit at 3.1 and then 5.1 respectively. And like I said, the brand of prime. So you just got to really think about some of these things when you're moving around. But it's also the one what I was getting at is when you get outside of that top 10 and you start thinking about a Page, you start thinking about a Cooper, you start thinking about a Fly J, they are building their brands through social media. They're doing different things to build themselves up, and they're able to capitalize on it. And it's not necessarily the brands or the programs, and it's the brands that they built. And I think the differentiation of that is going to be that the brands that they are building are going to help them long term, especially like a Fly J and a Page. Like they've been able to build their brands, and now when they go to the WNBA, like their salaries are lower than the NFL, NBA, stuff like that. But they're going to be able to maximize their opportunities because of the brands that they built. And so I think that's real important. So I think that's something that we definitely dive in, tap in on the Powerhouse Conversations, and something that we definitely will go over so a little bit more on Sundays, stuff like that. Like when I go live, I'm gonna start going live a lot more. Want to make sure that I'm giving as much information as possible. Allowing a lot of other people to come in and learn. Even tapping in with some of the coaches and athletic administrators. I'm giving all different types. I'll even bring in some players. I see my boy John in here. I'll bring in some players to kind of talk to them about how things are going, learning some of the things that are affecting them, impacting them. And like I said, Dream Big Sports is at the intersection of sports, tech, and business. We making sure we're merging those, making sure that we are helping athletes and athletic people in the industry understand how those things are merging and how big tech is. So thinking about things like generative AI, thinking about automation, thinking about some of these different tools that are going to be affecting the industry, esports, sports betting, making sure that we're understanding these immersive sports venues. That's on the tech side of things. It's gonna be big for fan engagement. And so the more you learn about those things, the more you're able to get ahead of the game and leverage those opportunities, and then kind of just really be able to maximize your opportunities and maximize your brand. So, like I said, Dream Big Sports is where tech, sports, and business intersect. Like we make sure that we're empowering athletes and sports organizations to be able to learn more about the tech landscape and the business side of things, and not everybody's equipped or has the manpower to be able to know about all these things. I've been in the tech industry over a decade, working with companies like AT&T, Microsoft, potentially, making the move somewhere else. But it's just I've gained this knowledge with working with businesses. And I wanted to take this to the sports industry and help elevate a lot of these athletes that don't necessarily think about some of these things. So that's something that I definitely am making sure that we are doing, especially with everything that's going on with NIL and how it's opening up for younger athletes. And one of the big things I always talk about is that athletes, especially student athletes, have a finite amount of time to play their sport. It's not promised that you will be able to play forever. So that time frame that you're playing, it's important that you maximize it and utilize everything at your disposal to be able to get everything out of it that you can. And I feel like technology is a way to do that. And so it's going to be definitely very important for the growth of athletes to utilize technology. And so it's really three pillars to what we do at Dream Big Sports. It's our podcast where we give out information and we make sure that everybody has the information, and then a consulting branch of it where we can come in and we can actually get a little hands on and make sure that we're coming up with strategies and working with you all. And then the third part is our digital transformation workshops where we break down some of the things that we're working on from a digital transformation standpoint. So we're talking about AI strategies, automation strategies, how to use generative AI like ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot. Even things like when I'm doing these podcasts like Opus clips and teaching you how to do different things that are going to make these things a lot easier and maximize your potential, your earning potential. That's going to be very important to your growth. And so that's what sets us apart. Like a lot of these companies, you'll see a lot of NIL companies, things of that nature. They're trying to leverage the business and get a piece of what's going on and what the athlete is doing. But my approach is to definitely just leverage my knowledge and make sure that the athletes and the athletic departments are able to understand that knowledge instead of always just giving stuff out, giving that percentage out freely, and making sure that you're actually uh, working with experts like myself to learn how to be able to do some of these things. I think it really goes back to you could teach a man how to fish. I mean, you can give him a fish, or you can teach him how to fish. And my way of going about things is teaching you how to fish, being able to give you some game that's going to help you be able to go out and make opportunities for yourself. So, uh, like I said, I'll be going live more often. This is you know, another thing that we're going to be doing. Another way we're going to be reaching the people. Make sure you tune in to Powerhouse Conversations. Make sure you're tuning in to these lives. Like I said, we're going to have um, a recurring stream where we just break down current news. We did it last week. Some of those clips are starting to come out with me and my guy Darren from the Jersey Sports Network. That's something that we definitely are excited about because we're able to break down some of the things that are going on in sports. Uh, Definitely big shout out to Asia Wilson. We're going to be talking about her in our next show. Uh, and she won unanimous MVP. And so that's something that we're going to talk about how her, like, the year that she's had. Asia, she won a gold medal, signature Nike athlete, unanimous MVP. She won the championship last year. She going for a three-peat this year. Definitely. Um, she had a huge year. And then we're also on the flip side, we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark and the Caitlin Clark effect. She played earlier today. WNBA started the playoffs, so we're going to talk about that. And Caitlin, won a unanimous Rookie of the Year. So we're going to talk about that dynamic and how it's going to affect women's sports and the business side of that. Because, like I said, we're always going to talk about the business side, the on the court, on the field stuff is always going to relate to the off the field and how it impacts the boardrooms. Because, like I said, the biggest thing is like all these athletes, they have such a they have a window, and so what we want to talk about is what happens off the field, off the court, so we can help maximize that window and after already being prepared to understand the game and understand what's going on once that window has closed. What else we got on the ticket for the Nike's CEO stepping Nike's CEO stepping down and them getting a new CEO and like that big surge in the stock price. We're gonna break that down too because that's definitely big. That's definitely something that's going to affect and impact Nike moving forward. Nike is always killing the game. They have a what you call an economic moat. That is like they have I remember when I was in college, had to read the book Blue Ocean Strategy, and I think Nike is definitely a a big representative of Blue Ocean Strategy. They are somebody or they are a company that definitely has built the economic moat around themselves and nobody can touch them. So we're definitely going to talk about Nike in this next episode. And then let's see, I can actually bring up the show notes for y'all to make sure y'all know what's going on. So Nike, we got Caitlin Clark, we got Asia Wilson. Oh, and we're going to be talking about private equity in college athletics. NCAA versus House is going to open up for private equity firms to start, investing in athletics. That's going to be huge. Like that is big. And it made me think about this. I came across a clip of Jay Williams talking about how he wants to invest 49% and own 49% of Duke basketball. Like, just think about how big that's going to be when private equity is going to be able to come in and purchase Texas football. Like, what's the valuation going to be on Texas football, Alabama football? Like we're talking crazy numbers, and that it like when we're talking these numbers, you got to think that's going to trickle down to the athletes. So that's something that's big, and people I haven't seen a lot of people talking about, but it's going to be something that a lot of people need to be talking about because if once private equity gets in, the money is definitely going to get different, and it's gonna like that yeah, that's gonna be something we definitely gonna have to talk about. But yeah, man, I don't want to give too much away for the episode. We should be recording that soon. I have some more interviews coming out soon. Um, we It's going to be an NIL interview that's coming out. Have a NIL agent, and then as well as a NIL workshops that we discuss. So yeah, stay tuned, man. We're talking. We got the news from the podcast. Then we're going to hit you with the insights on interviews. So we're hitting you from both angles, talking about current events, and we're talking about like bringing in people who are in the industry that know what they're talking about. And we're going to do more of that. Definitely, John. College athletes need this, so like tap in. Make sure you reaching out, letting people know about this. Like send this out to people. So it's gonna be big. But before we wrap up, make sure you all follow and make sure you tune in and stay follow and subscribe to the podcast because that's where you'll be getting all the information from. And if you definitely send this out to your athletic athletic department, whoever that is that you're cool with, your coach, whatever it is, like make sure you send this out because Powerhouse Conversations is going to be the number one place to get your news on the business side. Like that's going to be really big. We're not just talking NIL, we're talking like just business in general because NIL only speaks to what they're doing as college athletes, and I want to make sure I'm equipping you to be successful in the sports industry for a long time. And or just in the business industry. My bad, not the sports industry, because I'm not even gonna act like I've been in the sports industry. Like I'm a businessman. That's the at the end of the day, I know business, and I'm a former athlete, so I'm able to speak to it. And so that's I definitely want y'all to make sure y'all tune in at Dream Big Fred. Follow me on all socials. Make sure y'all subscribe to the pod, and see y'all later.